It's overlapping.
What's that?
Is it overlapping?
Well, the cortex is overlapped, but when people speak, they don't speak all the modalities simultaneously. They come out in an order. That's a firing sequence, right? That firing sequence, NLP calls a strategy, right? When people speak, their words and the category of words will be a direct map of the sequence of brain parts that fire when they go about making that decision or doing that action. Understand that? Okay? The words a person uses is a direct map of that. You can cross-check that. You can correlate and make sure that you've got the right sequence by watching how their eye patterns move. If someone uses a visual word and their eyes shoot up as they do it, that's a check that they're accessing visual, because when people access the visual cortex or they make a picture in their head, their eyes go up most of the time. When people are hearing sounds or talking to themselves, their eyes go laterally. When they feel things, their eyes tend to go down. Now, some people, NLP makes another distinction, which is when someone's talking to themselves. They're having an internal dialogue, their eyes will sometimes go down and to the left. That's called auditory digital. Be that as it may. The sequence of VAK-type words that come out of a person's mouth can be correlated with their eye accessing movements. And NLP wants you to pay attention to their words, watch their eye accessing movements, pay attention to the strategy, and replace the words that they used with words in the same category, and then talk to them. To err is human. To really complicate things, you need a neuro-linguistic programmer. Right? And there's a separate elicitation process for every single aspect of a person you want to unpack. Or, you could just repeat exactly what they said, the way they said it, and hit everything.
Basically, it's 2 months, right? NLP says way
Right? When you echo, for those of you who have a background in NLP, this will make more sense, but if you guys come to learn NLP, you'll learn all this by the time you know NLP anyway. When you echo somebody, you are automatically, indirectly affecting their values and criteria. You're automatically in their strategy. You're automatically in their meta programs. And the longer you repeat it, you'll activate their convincer strategy. Without doing anything else. That's efficient. And it's the best thing. It's the best thing you can say. There's no mental gymnastics. You don't got to think, oh, I got to replace it. He said see, so I have to see in picture. He said her, I have to say tune into. Right? This word replacement shit is too cumbersome. It's cumbersome, and it slows down the process, and it gives you, it actually creates distance from the person, because now they have to translate the word.
Now they translate what you're translating.
Now, it's still better than what the average human being does, because the average human being uses their own modality and and forces it down the throat of the person they're talking to. They're projecting their own internal map onto the other person and wondering why there's a disconnect. Right? So what NLP is doing is better than what the average person does. But can we improve on that? Yes. And to people who like that complexity and those verbal gymnastics and things like that, they might find this basic. I don't. In fact, the longer I do it, the more applications I study, cross-contextually in terms of human influence, the more that thing keeps coming up.
And how it feels is important.
Yeah. Yes?
So in my case, going back to our scenario, Gary was at any point in time, he's great, 5+ minutes, and he'd go on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So that, there's no way I'll remember every word.
Nope.
So that's why I was asking you about your thinking process.
I use whatever words seem important to him.
Can you do a pattern interrupt? Also, I saw James C. Too in one of the lectures where he would hear the emphasis on a word and then just boom, say, oh, hey, he would just like repeat that word right in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah, because the minute they hear that word, it's like, well, have you ever been talking to somebody and they say something and you just repeat that word real quick just to let them know you're with them? That's the same idea. It's the same idea. A lot of times I'll ask somebody, if I miss something they said, don't be afraid to ask them to repeat it. Because asking them to repeat it signals you're paying attention, makes them say it again, so it reinforces what they just said. It gives you a chance to echo it back to make sure that you've got it, which is really just an excuse to say the words again.
And you're softening it.
Yeah, right? So there's lots of different ways that you can camouflage this. There's lots of different ways you can do this. But when I'm training people to build the faculties and the ability to parse that language, I'm going to make you remember as much of it as I can and use it as much as you can, just so you can see how far you can go and to stress your neurology enough that it starts to modify and adapt. There is no growth without stress, without discomfort. It's just finding the optimal level of outside the comfort zone to create the greatest degree of adaptation, right? And it's fun, because it's still a very gratifying experience, even in a training exercise like this. How many of you felt really connected to the people and really understood by the people you were working with?
A lot.
Right? That's the point. If for no other reason than to just feel good with people and help people feel good around you, that's the reason to learn this, right? And is that a valid application?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But can you use it for everything else? Damn Skippy. I do. Right? I mean, where's Zach? Zach and TJ, you both are training at the clinic and you're watching videos of consults and things. How often do I echo? Constantly. Constantly. Right? Yes.
I would just like to share it saved my relationship with my daughter.
Saved your relationship with your daughter?
3 days of watching your video.
Really?
I went from not being able to have a conversation with her for 5 minutes without it getting heated to I was looking at my phone 30 minutes later saying, how do I stop this?
Mark?
I'm doing it with grandkids.
Uh-huh.
And then, again, they don't have any filters in
Yeah.
place. And again, they just light up when they hear the wrong words. It's like Christmas morning. All of a sudden, same words.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I have a general question. So we're trying to move into this person's world, bioreportability and part of them. So working with people very closely on the therapeutic level,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of negative things going on. How do you keep yourself safe, and how do you dissociate from that?
Well, first of all, you do need to state control is really the most important piece. And can you define safe? In what context? Are we picking up negative stuff, secondary trauma, picking up bad thought forms, or getting demon possessed? I don't understand the scope of the context of what you're.
Oh, just if they're very negative about the situation. Whether
Well, again, there's.
or-
First of all, you have your state control, so you know that whatever state they're in, you can pull yourself out of it. That's the first thing. Remember that everything that they're giving you is their belief system. It's a set of models and constructs that they've made up. You enter their world and you navigate their world based on their own internal metaphors. And then when the transformation is done, first of all, you're done. You're as clean as they are. You may need to go, just kind of de-stress or do a power pose or something to set yourself up for the next client. But ultimately, that cleansing process happens as you go through the transformation. Unless you don't get the transformation, which usually doesn't happen in my world because I screen my clients very closely to make sure that they're a good fit. But things that are important, if you've been in my clinic, you'll see there's about a 15-minute window between each patient, and I usually run to the restroom, get rid of the internal junk and the external junk. Then I'll hit a power pose, or I'll do some other cleansing exercises. Gray room is one you should be doing. If you're seeing clients on a regular basis, you should be doing gray room constantly. Just like you brush your... I don't work with the violet flame so much. It's a little too woo-woo for me. It's not tangible enough unless you build in some other somatic things. So gray room works really well. HMR works wonderfully well. The color breathing exercises and things. What's that? Holographic memory resolution. You learn it now, identity by design. Yeah.
Do you do cutting cords after it's done? Your mind?
No, I don't need to.
Okay.
As a rule. A lot of people like the cord cutting process, and if it works for you, great. Test every modality. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of actual science that says EFT works really, really well. I have never had EFT work with a client. I've had a lot of people come to me who've been to EFT practitioners, and they still can't get rid of their shit. Right? So people ask me, is EFT any good? And I make a little bit of a joke. So spinning beats tapping in 10 out of 10 tries. So, yes.
How do you screen your
I let them know ahead of time that we don't accept every client. In fact, if you go to a lot of my websites, there's a Stas email that we send. So we offer all prospective clients a free 30-minute consultation to determine if your case is a fit for our methods. After you pass our screening, we'll discuss strategies and tactics for getting your situation resolved in the shortest amount of time possible. When you're ready to schedule your 30-minute free consultation, or free 30-minute consultation, give us a call at 858-481-1438. Okay? I invert the frame. Most hypnotists are desperate for business. They're trying to recruit clients. I'm not. I'm testing to see if you are someone that I can help. It's a very different frame. Clients have to prove themselves to me. And when they come in, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sit them down, and I'm going to ask them, what made you want to come out? How can I help you today? I'm going to ask them about their problem. Then I'm going to ask them, how long has this been going on? How long has this been a problem for you? Then I'm going to ask them, what have you tried prior to reaching out to me? What have you done that didn't work? Okay, and there's a cool little psychological principle there, because when people start talking to you about all the things that didn't work, they start automatically placing you in the solution category. Right? Then I'm going to do my tests. I'm going to do a heavy hand, light hand. I'm going to do a magic frame screening process.
What is that test for?
Compliance. Compliance and suggestibility. Right? I don't care what their problem is. What I care about is that they can follow my instructions. If they can't or won't follow my instructions, they don't get in. I don't care what they believe. I care what they do. Right? And there will be people that will not pass your test. And you got to set them free. Now, when I give that little blurb in a live training, I'll put in the disclaimer, if I can help you, I'll tell you. If I can't help you, I'll tell you that too. And I'll recommend other resources you might try to get the help you need, right? I don't want to work with people I can't help. Goes to that old saying, you can't teach a pig to sing. Waste your time and it pisses off a pig, right? You have, as a therapist, you have what's the thing of care, duty of care, and a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that your intervention has the highest probability of success for that patient, right? If you want to work really hard, don't screen them. Just beg them, If they don't pass your test and you accept them as a client, because when you go through my consultation process, you're usually salivating to be a client. Okay? Because it's engineered to show you the power of your subconscious mind, to give you a massive pleasure infusion. And then we hit you with the price, and then we ask you why you want to, we do a lot of really cool things. Yeah.
How long did it take you accepting everyone before you decided to change to screening people?
I realized early, I watched so many other people struggling, and just decided I was never going to do that to begin with. Right? Just like my wife and I, we both went to acupuncture school, but we practice very differently. Like, I looked at the hassle, like, a lot of acupuncturists, chiropractors are big on insurance billing, right? And you get addicted to the insurance because you can't get away from it. I looked at that and said, that's way too much fucking paperwork for me.
Yeah.
And I started all cash right from the get-go, and I've never had a problem. I've never had the hassle. I watch my wife work 12 hours a day and come home after 6 hours of paperwork because the insurance won't pay her $5 if she doesn't do it. I'm not doing that shit. Right? Yes. I am finished talking about the screening process. I read subtext, Betty. No, I actually did an interview with Igor Lehovsky a couple years back where I actually taught him my consultation process. It has about an 80-90% conversion rate. Some of you have been through my conversion process. All of you in the room have been converted in some way. Yes, Roger.
Sorry, can you comment on the gray room? I'm not familiar with
Gray room is a construct. We'll never get the language at this rate. That's all right. It's your training. They'll take you out into the bathroom and beat you up later. You watch, it'll happen. No. All right, gray room is a hypnotic construct. I learned it from Jerry Kine. You do an induction. Oops, that's way too big. Let's do this one. See if that works. So you do an induction. You deepen. And then you send the person to a dome-shaped room with pearly gray walls. In the center of the room is a beautiful fireplace with a glowing fire that radiates warmth. And again, you can have all kinds of bells and whistles and modifiers to this. As you look around the room, you notice there are what look like on the walls little colored squares. And you notice that those squares come in different colors. And you instinctively recognize that one set of squares represent all the wonderful things in your life, all the things that make you feel strong, confident, worthy, deserving, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, reverent, everything that is wonderful and awesome about you. And you also realize that those other squares, well, they represent all that other stuff. All the things that hold you back, all the things that make you feel less than confident, less than worthy, less than deserving. Things you consciously remember, things you consciously understand, and things you unconsciously remember. The things you unconsciously understand. The secret thoughts, experiences, beliefs that hold you back, that cause you to say things you don't want to say or do things you don't want to do. They're on that wall. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, once you walk over to one of those squares that represents a less than positive experience, reach out and touch it. Rip it off the wall. Crumple it up in your hands. Feel that feeling in your body begin to dissolve and break away, losing all impact on you forever. When you're ready, go ahead, throw it in the fire. Feel it burn up. And you just have them go through the room, pull shit off the wall, crumple it up, throw it in the fire, feel it leave, and when they know it's done, have them try to bring it back. Notice what happens instead. Until all that stuff is gone. When you know it's done, all the remaining squares, all the positive ones, they begin to grow. They begin to expand. They begin to fill the entire room, radiating an energy, filling your mind, filling your body with everything that's good and awesome and deserving about you, like an infinite, endless energy supply. Just allow that energy to flow into you, filling you up until it's so strong, so powerful, it's impossible to turn off. When you know you've got it, test it. Try to turn it off and notice what happens instead. And then when they've got that and they can't turn it off and they're good to go, emerge them. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, off to the next patient. Or off to go to sleep or start your day or whatever you're going to do. And that's hypnosis from the stage.
What's that guy's name? Jerry Klein or something?
You can clap, it's okay. Right? All good hypnosis is really good theater. If you want to be an awesome hypnotist, best hypnotists on the planet are actors. Bar none. Their entire craft is designed to do one thing and one thing only, to suck you out of your world and right into the one they created. Isn't that what we do? Right? Plus, you meet hot people. Not that you guys are interested in that. Giggles. All right. It is 11:55. Can you guys go potty, replenish your coffee, be back in 7 minutes? Go. 7 minutes. Because we're going to